In the last class, we have discussed about the usage of the if-else statements with a number of examples.
Character A to Z values.
I had given you some more examples that were to check whether the given input was a vowel or not. So here the main thing that we discussed was about the ASCII code numbers of the words, characters, sorry, alphabet ASCII code numbers. 65 to 90 for capital letters and 97 to 120 for 122 for small letters A to Z, and 0 to 9 are 48 to 57. Fine. So these are all different examples, a few of them which I have given for identifying how if condition can be used. The next thing that we will talk about is how to make use of the switch case. Among the control statements, I told you that if else is of two types, simple if else and nested if else. So this we have completed it. Now let us see about how to make use of the switch case. Usage of the switch case. The usage of the switch case statement. Now something similar to as we have discussed if else, we have this switch case also. Now even switch case also, it is also a conditional statement in which we can check only one value at a time. We can check only one value at a time. This is also another conditional statement. First, let me give you the switch case syntax. Syntax of the switch case, followed by variable, flower bracket start, and inside this flower bracket case, you will have value, okay, case value colon. Here you will have statements. You can have one or more statements, and the next here you have is break. Now in the same way as we have written for these two lines, same would be continued for a number of times further also. You can have any number of case statements, there is no restriction for that. And this can be continued like this for a number of times. Finally, you will have default. For this default colon, you will again have statements, but here you don't need the break. Default block does not have the break statement because default is the last block of the switch case. Now, a few important things about this switch case. The first point is which variable must be int or char data type only. Floats are not allowed.
Conditional process. Floats are allowed.
If condition, floats are allowed. In switch case, this variable that you are giving, this variable cannot be float variable. It has to be int or char data types. Int or its variations. What are the int variations? Short int, long int, unsigned int. Okay, it can be any of those things. But you cannot have float or double data types here. Okay, floats are not allowed. You can have char data type if you want. Second thing, every switch should have a case statement. Sorry, every case should have a break. Every case should have break. Okay, every case must have break statement. Break is used to transfer. Break is used to transfer the control out of the switch block. Transfer the control out of switch block. If suppose the break is not given, if the break statement is not given, then until the occurrence of next break, whatever is given, that will be continuing. Okay. Compulsory said. If the break statement is not used, then until the occurrence of next break, all statements will be continued. So break is compulsory for every switch block, sorry, every case block. If break is not given, until the occurrence of next break statement, all statements will be executed. So irrespective of the case value, the rest of the case statements all will be executed. So this is what happens when you are not making use of the break statement. So break is compulsory. Every case must have break statement. Default, one more we have is the default block. Now default is an optional block. However, default is an optional block.
Then we say
It may be used or it may not be used, no problem. Choice is yours. Like else block in if. In the if else block you are having else, which is optional, I told you. It is not compulsory that you have to write the else block. So in the similar way, even here also, else is not compulsory, this default is not compulsory. Okay, default is an optional block, but if used, must be the last block. If used, it must be the last block. There cannot be anything in between. So switch variable must be int or char data type only. Floats are not allowed. Every case should have a break statement. Break is used to transfer the control out of the switch block. If the break statement is not used, then until the occurrence of next break, all statements will be continued to execute. Default is optional block, but if used, it must be the last block. It must be the last block. In the switch case, that must be the last block. So this is about the case statement, switch case. Now the main purpose of this switch case is to compare individual values only. Only one value at a time can be used for checking or comparing. Only one value comparison is possible. We cannot make use of greater than, less than kind of comparison values to check with the if else. Sorry, switch case. So you have to make use of, you don't give any variable. So here you give the variable. This variable will be checked with this value. First case value will be checked. If this variable matches to this value, whatever statements here you have given, they will be executed. If this variable matches to the second one, then that statements will be executed, and this break statement will get the control out of the switch block. If the break is not given, what will happen? It will continue these statements, and the next statement also will be executed until occurrence of next break. So we don't want that. So that is the reason why every case is given with a break statement. Now it is possible sometimes that you may want to compare multiple values for a single variable. If this variable matches to value 1 or value 2, you want to do a common task. So in that type of situation, break statement can be avoided. I will give you an example for that. So that way we will make use of the switch case block. So let me give you some example programs using switch case. Fine. So this is program to accept a single digit number and print it in words. I hope you have done this previously. Accept a single digit number and print it in words. If the user is giving an input value as 1, I want the output as ONE. If it is 2, then TWO. We have done some program something similar to this one previously also. Okay, or maybe you have done it for weekday number. If I give 1, I want the output to be printed as Sunday or Monday or Tuesday and so on. So for such type of requirement, you can make use of this one. So here what we can do is, here we will write a integer type variable, integer x, enter a single digit, we will accept that value into x. This is supposed to be percentage %d, and now here we'll start with a switch followed by the variable name x. Now if this variable x value is 1, if it is case 0, if it is 0 colon, I want to print the output as printf zero. This is the output I would like to display. And after this, the next line we must have break. It is compulsory that you give the break statement. If you don't give the break statement, then the output will be different. Same way we have to now write it for other cases also. Like here we have to write it for 1, 2, 3 and so on. Now to reduce the number of lines over here in the program, I am taking this break statement into the same line. We can write it. We can write break in the same line also. Okay, so here I'll just put it back like this. Change these values. This is 1, 2, 3. Here we have THRE, TWO. We need the same things again and again. Change these numbers 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here we'll have NINE. Eight. Okay. Now, here we have given it for all of them. Default. In the default block, we'll say printf not a single digit. Okay, not a single digit number. Okay, this is not a single digit number. Here we can end the program. Here I am saving this program 24.c, and when I run this program, it will take an input value from user, and based upon the input value, it is going to ask. Okay, based upon the input value, it is going to print the value, the word. Suppose I am giving a number like 0, it will print 0. Or if I am giving a number like 9, it will print 9. Any single digit number, it will take it. But suppose I am giving a number like 10, it says this is not a single digit number. It is not a single digit number, right? So this is the way we have the output of this program. So now you might be observing that this is a laborious process, that writing case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like this. Okay, and also you might get a question here like, if suppose I have to write it for 75, then how will I write it? For all the 2-digit numbers also, if I want to write, am I going to write all the values? If I have to start writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I have to go on like 99 up to 99, which is not a correct method. Okay, that is only up to 99, but suppose it is a 4-digit number, if it is a 5-digit number, we cannot keep on writing. There we will have to follow a different logic, of course, but then for now we are just writing it like this. Okay, because it is only 10 values, possible that we can write it like this. Now on similar lines, you can write a program for accepting the month number and print the month name. You have to write a program to accept the month number and print its corresponding month name. Want to print its corresponding month name. So this is also another similar kind of example which you can do it. Almost similar one. Here you have to accept the month number. Just take the variable as MON, ampersand MON. Take the variable name as MON. Case 1 onwards we will start. 0 we don't need it.
Case 1.
Number will start it with 1. So if it is 1, then it is January, this February. We can start doing it like this. Huh?
1 second quotation.
No, if you put 1 in single quotation, it will take its ASCII code number to compare. ASCII code number of 1 will be what?
97.
49.
49, yeah.
48 to 57, no, 0 to 9 digits. So if you put 1 in single quotations, its ASCII code number will be considered for comparison. We don't want that, no? So this way it can be compared. Single quotation is for characters. We'll take another example for that character also. So 1 to 12. And if it is none of these, then we'll say this is not a
month.
valid month number. So we have the program on this. So this should not be enter a single digit number. So what it should be, enter the month number. Enter a month number. So when I run the program, here it is asking enter the month number. When I give the month number, for example 5 or 4, based upon the input value, it is printing that corresponding value. So based upon the input value, it is printing the month number. Now let's see how the same program can be changed when I have to compare it for multiple values and do a single process. I want to do one process when the user input value is any one of some 2 or 3 numbers, 3 input values. For any of the 3 input values, we want to do one common task. Let me give you an example. Suppose that we want to accept the class of a student. Student belongs to some class. Class can be any value from 1 to 12. If the class value is given as 1, I want to output as January. Class value 2, February. Class value 3, March. Sorry. If the class value is sorry. If the student belongs to class 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, I want to print it as primary block. Class 1 to 5, I want to print it as primary block. Divesh, are you following?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So if the input value is given as 1 to 5, I want the output to be printed as primary block. If the value is 6 or 7, I want the output as upper primary block. If it is 8 to 10, I want to print it as secondary block. Or if it is 11 or 12, then I want to print it as higher secondary block. Anything other than that should be printed as invalid. Okay, so 1 to 12 possible classes will be there. We don't have anything beyond that. So if I have to write a program for that one, you see how this can be changed. I'm just copy pasting the same program.
Case 1 printed by
Accept the class number. One to 12 and print the block name. I want to print the block name. I'm taking a variable CL for class.
if condition about Raspberry.
No, you can write the same thing using if condition also. In fact, writing this program using if condition is the better method, because we are having a range of values that we want to compare 1 to 5, 8 to 10, 11 or 12. So because you are having that type of comparison range, it is good that you make use of if else statement. But here you cannot make use of the switch case, because you see the difficulty when we have to write. Enter class number. Say we will give the input value as 1 to 12. L is the variable to which we are taking the input. If it is class 1, then what do we want to print?
Switch CL.
Switch CL. If it is case 1, then what is that we want to print? Primary block. Right. After writing this primary block, break statement as usual, that is okay. If it is 2, then what we have to print?
Primary block.
Same thing, no? So again I have to copy the same thing and paste it. Once again for the next one also.
Yes, sir.
Until this May. So primary block now, what it says is, C language says is, you don't have to write this statement. We don't need to write this statement. So many times is not needed. Write it with the last value. Now, few minutes back I told you that for every switch, you should have a case. And for every case, there must be a break. If the break is not given, then what will happen? Until the occurrence of next break statement, whatever is there, that will be executed. So here case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5. Out of these 1, 2, 3, 4, I am not giving anything. That means I am not giving the break statement also. Now when I am not giving the break statement for the case, what will happen?
It will print.
Until the occurrence of next break, it will continue to print. Or it will continue to execute the statements. Now here next there is nothing, 3 also nothing, 4 also nothing, 5 is also, 5 is there.
Primary block.
So it will print the word primary block. After printing the word primary block, there is a break.
From the switch case.
This break will get the control out of the switch case. It will exit the control out of the switch. If it is 6, then what is that we want to do? If it is case 6, I want to print it as upper primary block. Okay, if it is case 6, I want to print it as upper primary block. Case 7 also, I want to do the same thing. Here I want to print it as upper primary block. Here this is also upper primary block. Now we want to do the same thing for twice. Now because it is the same thing that we want to do, remove it from case 6. Keep it with case 7. Okay, keep it with case 7. When it comes to case 8, case 8 I can leave it blank.
Case 9 also.
Case 9 also I will leave it blank. Case 10 when it comes to, here I will write secondary block. And then I will write the break statement. With 11 and 12, 11 I will not write anything. When I have to write, I will say higher secondary block and then break statement. After that, this is not a valid class number. This is not a valid class number. Okay, we'll just write like this and leave this. So now you see, for all the cases 1 to 5, work what is to be done is common. For 6 or 7, the work is this. 8, 9, 10, we have a single statement. For 11 and 12, we have one more statement. So comparison of a range of values is not possible, but in case we want it, we can do it like this also. Here it is not comparing the range, it is comparing all values in that range. One by one values in the range. Case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5. Each value is being compared. Whichever case value comparison becomes true, it will take that statement and it will execute. Also, another common thing which many people misunderstand is that they understand that these values must be in an increasing order only. They understand that these values must be in increasing order only, which is not true. It is not required that you have to have the values as increasing order. You can write 1 here, or you can write 4 here, you can have 1 here, no problem. So values need not be in an increasing order. Okay, if you want to have it, if you want to take it, fine. Here you want to have 5, no problem. 4, 2, 1, 5, 3, different sequence I have given, no problem. It's possible, you can give it like this. But for our convenience, we are giving it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so that it becomes easy for us to understand. Okay, so for that reason, if you want, you may give it as what is it? You may give it in an increasing sequence, but otherwise that is not compulsory. Okay, it is not compulsory. This is program number 27, not 26, 26.c. Enter the class number. Suppose I give the class number as 4, primary block. Or if I again run the program and give the number 5, it is still primary block. If I run the program and give the number 6, upper primary block. 6, it is printing it as upper primary block. So this way we can write a program. The values need not be in an increasing or decreasing order. Okay. Again.
printf primary block అనేది పైన చేసి బ్రేక్ వచ్చి ఫేస్ ఫైల్
No. Break, if you want to write it with what is it, primary block, fifth one.
అది కేస్ 1 లో వచ్చేసి బ్రేక్ వచ్చి కేస్ 5.
Yes, okay. Here I have a question. I have one student asking, can we write like this? Is it? This is what you mean. You cannot write it like this because what do you want to do if choice is given as one primary block? And after that, because there are no statements and with case 5 you have a break statement, so program will work fine. Program will work fine, no problem. But for suppose the entry was not 1, suppose the entry was given as 3, then what will happen? Case 1, is it true? No. Case 2, is it true? No. Case 3, is it true? Yes. For case 3, what did you give?
Nothing.
There is nothing. So it will not print anything. And when it comes here, it will break. So for case 1 only, it will print primary block. For 2, 3, 4, 5, nothing will be printed. Did you understand? So it's not correct to write with the first statement. Write it with the last. Whichever is the last one, that way you can compare it. Also, here you cannot compare it as case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. No commas. Each case, individual separate statement has to be given. Now, it's possible that you can, if you want, you can write case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, all in a same line also, no problem. So that part is possible. And of course, the values can be in random order also, that is also possible. So this way, we have this switch case. Let me give you one more example. These values can be in random order. I am giving you one more example. Now this another example that I am showing you here, program to accept the department ID and print the bonus based on the given conditions. I want to write a program to accept the department ID. Now what are that we want to do for department? Let's say 80, 10 and 30. For department 8, 10, 80, 10 and 30, I want to have it as bonus is 1000. Okay, for 90 and 50 and 60, for 90, 50, 60, we want to have the bonus as 800. Others, I want to have 500. Others bonus is 500. So this is the way we want to print it. So in this type of situation, now you see here we have department ID as the variable. DEPT ID, some variable I have taken.
Enter a department ID.
Enter department ID. Let's say we want to take it as 10 to 100. 10 to 100. 10 or 20 or 30 up to 100. Any number we are asking it to print. So here the variable is accepted. Now here we will say case DEPT ID. Now what are the given values? 80, 10 and 30. So I can have 80 first, then 10 next,
30 next,
and 30.
Printf.
With these three,
Printf bonus is 1000.
printf
Bonus is 1000.
bonus is 1000. I can store that into some variable and that variable can be printed at the last also. Okay, depending upon the input value, it can be done. Similarly,
90.
for case 90, 50 and 60, we want to have bonus is 800. Then I can have break. Default, I'll say bonus is 500. So we can have it like this also. So if I am giving a number like 50, according to the given conditions, it is printing it as 800. Now there is nothing like invalid value now. If I am giving department number anything other than those values, it will give department bonus is 500. Any department number other than those mentioned, it will print it as bonus is 500. This way, now you can see for any of these multiple values, the process is same. Similarly, you can also check it for character type of conditions. Okay, character type of conditions means like what? Another example, the program is to accept grade and print the remarks. Accept the grade and print the remarks. If it is for A, then I want to check it as, it is A, then I want to print it as good. For B, I want to print it as can do better. If it is for C, I want to write it as work hard. For D, I want to make it as poor. Anything other than these ABCDs, if user is typing anything other than that, then I would just want to say it as invalid grade. Others I just want to say it as invalid. Invalid grade we want to print it. Now, because we want to take a character input, grade is a character input. Okay, character input. Because we want to take character input, the data type of the variable must be taken as char. Char grade. Enter grade. Here we'll make the user intimate about what is supposed to be typed. A, B, C or D. Let's say we first intimate the user that he is supposed to type any one of these ABCD values. Here I'll say grade is the variable, percentage C type variable, and here grade is what we want to compare for. Switch grade. Quotations, now we are supposed to give a comparison. Grade A. Now I can also check it for small letter. If the grade is given as capital A or small a. I'll say good. And after this we will give break. Same like this, we will have it for others also. If it is capital B or small b. Now whether to write capital first or whether to write small first is again your choice. How you want, you can write it. There is no restriction for that. You may have one time capital first, another time small first, no problem. Okay, the way you want it. If it is anything other than that, invalid grade. I can print it like invalid grade. So this is based upon the character type of conditions. When we want to compare for character type of conditions. Program number 28.c. If I am giving A, then that is printed as good. If I again run the program, grade is B, that is can do better. Again run the program, say C, that works fine with work hard. Again for D, poor performance. Again, now if you type anything other than ABCD capital or small, this will be printed as invalid grade. So here we have the program like this. Now basis on similar lines, I want you to do program. Write a program to accept two values, two numbers. Display a list of options. Display a list of options. 1. Add. 2. Subtract. 3. Multiply. 4. Divide. 5. Remainder. Accept the user's choice and print the result. Based upon the input value, you have to print the result. Okay, for the two numbers, you have to do that calculation and print the result. Implement the same program for character input also. That is, the input value is like this, like R for remainder, D for division, M for multiply, S for subtraction, and this is A for addition. When the input value is given as A, then it should add. If it is S, then it should subtract. Okay, so implement the same above program with a character choice also. This will be our program number 29, which I am giving it for you to work out. This is your task. Okay, so try to work out these things further in the next class tomorrow. We will clear any doubts if you have, and we will move on to the next topic, looping statements. Okay, Devesh?
Okay, sir.
All right.
Okay, sir. Bye.